Okay guys, the first thing that we're going to be talking about with our footwork module is energy transfer. So the concept of energy transfer is basically how I'm going to be pushing myself forward, backwards, side to side, and how I'm going to incorporate that with the bow. So we're going to go through a few concepts. And the first couple that we're going to work on is just moving forward, backwards, side to side. So Sean Sir and I are going to be paired up. We're going to be in a close stance, which means we're facing opposite directions, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is if I'm in close with Sean Sir, I'm going to be using energy transfer in my footwork. So is what I want to do, as opposed to jumping up and hopping back, okay? I'm going to be putting all the pressure on my front foot, and I'm going to be pushing as I slide back, okay? Now, is what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to move on a more horizontal plane away from my partner. So this is much faster and I'm still in a position to strike, as opposed to if I'm jumping up, I'm losing some of my balance. I've got nothing to gain traction on, okay? So the concept is that I'm pushing off this front foot back, okay? And then we're going to switch sides, sir, okay? Same with this side, I'm going to push back, okay? So I'm always pushing off that front leg when I'm retreating, okay? So the next concept that we're going to work on for this one is if I'm advancing. Now, advancing is going to be basically the opposite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be pushing forward with my back leg. So I'm in here, I push forward. So all I'm doing is I'm just lifting up that front leg and I'm advancing forward. So I don't want to be moving in like this because my feet are going to be off the ground and I'm not as efficient of a sparrer or fighter when I get into that. So we're going to be pushing off the back leg when we advance. The next one we're going to be working on is moving laterally. When I move laterally, Sean Sir and I are in this position, so if I want to go to my open side, I'm going to be pushing off my outside leg. And it's going to be the same concept as moving back and forward, only I'm going to be pushing off that side leg, and it's going to be pushing me in the direction that I want to go. It's going to be here. This front leg just lifts up ever so slightly. It can just skim right off the ground. My back foot is going to be pushing me out to the side. That's going to allow me to advance on my partner to his open or dead side, depending on what I want to do. So Sean Sir and I are going to switch sides. Okay, so now if I want to get to his open side over here, I'm going to push out to this side, and that's going to allow me to more efficiently move to the side. So I'm going to be using, it's called economy of energy. I want to get to that open side. I need to use my outside foot that's pushing me in the direction that I want to go. The same applies for if we were in a closed stance and I wanted to get to his dead side. I may be pushing off that leg and then parrying his bow or manipulating his bow. We'll get into that further into other modules. But basically the concept is whichever way I go, I'm going to be pushing on my outside leg depending on which way I want to travel. If we can get this concept down, it's going to allow us to move more efficiently throughout the ring. It'll allow us to conserve energy. We'll be a more balanced fighter. So it'll allow us to always be in position to swing our bow in a manner that would allow us to score a point or intelligently defend ourselves or set up a future strike. That is energy transfer. Our first footwork drill that we're going to work on is one I like to call when we're locked up. So we're going to be using some bow strikes in this drill. The purpose of it though really is focusing on the footwork, okay? So we're adding in the strike to show what flows smoothly together and what works well. But this could be applied in many different ways and you can experiment with it and see what flows nicely and what works well for you. The reason that we're using some of these strikes is just purely to show how you would incorporate the striking in with the concept of being locked up with your partner. Okay, so the first concept that we're going to work on when we're locked up is if I'm moving in on my opponent, is what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pushing back and striking, and then I quickly bring the bow up or I move off to the side. Okay, so what's going to happen is Sean Sir and I are going to go a few times back and forth, and then we're going to switch sides. So what you want to do at home is when you're practicing, find a partner, get some foam bows or some padded bows, and really focusing on that footwork, pushing that foot. If you don't have a partner, you can grab a bob, work on a tree, or even practice in the air. Okay, there's many options that we can do. So we're going to start this one off, and we're going to go in various different angles, and then we're going to switch sides, okay? And then Sean sir is going to get a turn to crack his bow at me. Okay, so we're going to start in locked up. I'm going to push off this front foot, and as I push, I'm going to do my strike. And then after I finish my strike, I'm going to quickly bring my bow back up because Sean still has this bow that he can bring down, okay? So my goal is that I want to get out of that lockup, strike, and then keep my bow up, really focusing on my footwork. I want to push off that front leg. So we're going to get started. We're going to lock up, slide, push, bring my guard up. And go. Good. And if you have a training partner, that's totally okay if your training partner tries to catch you on your shoulder. We want to realistically train. Good job on Sean sir. If you guys notice, I'm really pushing with the bow as I move back. Good, let's switch sides. And good, now we're going to switch sides. So now we're going to be in a left dominant. So we want to make sure we're training equal. Now I know most of us are going to spar predominantly with one hand, but we absolutely want to be working with our footwork on both feet, okay? So it's really important. So we're going to be locked up. I'm going to push, strike, come back. I'm really focusing on pushing off that front foot, guys. We're going to switch sides. I'm going to move in, slide, push. One more. Good. We're going to switch back. Now Sean sir is going to get a crack at me. So we're going to start in a closed stance, right dominant. Sean's going to be focusing on that front foot while we're locked up. Good. Good. It's okay to miss. Good. The key on this drill, guys, is the footwork. Good. We really want to make sure we're pushing off that bow. Okay, we're going to switch sides. We're still right dominant. Good. When Sean does that, he pushes off that bow. It doesn't allow me to drop that right away, okay? So that's one of the finer points. Good. He's really doing a great job, guys, of pushing off that front foot. Okay, one more, sir. Good. Okay, now we're going to switch to a left dominant, okay? Now we're going to go at a slightly different angle just to give you guys a different view. Okay, so I'm going to push, strike, bring my bow back. I want to get that bow up quick. Switch sides. Now I'm actually going to get you over on this angle, sir. Okay, we're going to stay locked up. Push, strike. Switch. Okay. From here. If you'll notice, it's harder. It's harder to get that bow back to counter if I'm pushing really hard on it. Okay, so it's going to be Sean sir's turn. We're going to start in a right dominant. We're going to change this one up a little bit. So is what we're going to do for our last round. Sean sir is going to, I guess we'll go left dominant. We're going to move around the ring like we're actually sparring, okay? And it's what's going to happen is our bows will lock up. That's going to give Sean sir his opportunity. Good. Focusing on that front foot. So I move in. Good. He comes back, really focusing on that front foot. Good. Good. If you guys will notice, I'm pushing off that back leg when I move in. Good. Good. Let's do one more on this side, sir. Nice. Okay, we're just going to finish off with a couple statically. We're going to face this way, give you guys a nice view. Okay, and is what we're going to do. Lock, pushing back, strike. Good. Really focusing on that footwork, guys. We want to really be pushing off that front leg. Okay. Nice. And one more, sir. Good. And that's using energy transfer when we push back with the bow. The next drill we're going to work on for energy transfer is going to be advancing and moving laterally, okay? So, Sean, sir, and I are going to start. We're going to be in a closed stance to start. And to start off, all I'm going to do is I'm going to step to the side. And as I'm stepping to the side, I'm just going to cock that bow back and then strike. And I always want to recoil the bow so that I'm in a defensive position in case I'm fighting someone with a high fight IQ and they want to counter quickly, okay? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pushing off that outside leg to the open side to give me all kinds of options. Now, I'm only pointing out one option. There's going to be lots that we can do, but we really want to be focusing on footwork for this particular drill. So Sean and I are going to be just kind of bouncing, and I'm going to slide and strike. Again, and bouncing, getting to that open side. I'm really focusing, guys, on pushing off that leg. Okay, we're going to switch sides. We're going to do 5 more on a right dominant. Now keep in mind, guys, we can do this against a tree, we can do it against a bob, anything. Really watching this front foot, guys. Sorry, back, sir. Thank you, sir. Watching this back foot, it's really pushing me. Let's do 2 more. Good. Now we're going to switch sides back. And Sean, sir, is going to get his turn. And on your own, sir. And if you're with a partner, try and make sure you can feel free to counter back so that your partner should always be ready to block that strike. Good. Good job keeping that bow up, sir. Good. Now we're going to switch sides. We're going to go to our right dominant still. We're just giving you guys a different angle. On your own, sir. Okay, you might want to block it just a little higher, sir. There you go. Good, very nice. Sean's doing a great job of pushing off that outside foot to move laterally. Let's do 1 more. A little lower, sir. Try again. Excellent. Good. Now we're going to switch stances. Okay, we're going to start in the left dominant. For this drill, we're actually going to start moving around freely. Okay, really focusing on that energy transfer moving around. Okay, so on your own with your partner or against your tree or bob. And go. If you guys notice, I still have quite a bit of reach. I'm moving to that outside, and your partner may not necessarily be expecting that. Quite oftentimes when we're sparring, we may get used to only moving back and forth. Good. Okay, we're going to switch roles. Okay, we're still going to move around freely. Nice. Now remember, guys, we don't want to just move in a circle, okay? We want to move back and forth, around, side to side, everything. A little more contact, sir. There you go. Good. Sean's doing a good job pushing off that outside foot. Good. And remind your partner every once in a while, if they don't get that bow up, they're getting that counter. Good. And resting. Face our partner. Bow. Good. Okay, the next one we're going to work on, guys, is going to be advancing with a poke. Okay. Now this one we're going to have to take special care that we don't really damage our partner. So if you have like a chest protector, or if you can add maybe a little extra padding on the bow, that's okay. We still want to be striking with some force so that our partner knows what it feels like, but at the same time we don't want to blow our partner up. So to start, we're just going to start slow. We're going to be in a right fighting stance, close, and all we're going to do is be moving. I'm going to push off that back leg and I'm going to thrust, okay? Now make sure that you don't really destroy your partner, but you still want to make that contact.
Sir, should thrust me towards chest or stomach, or does it happen?
So that's a good question. Sean's asking what part of the body. So really my target is probably the solar plexus. If I go too high, I don't want it ricocheting up and hitting him in the neck. If I go too low, I don't want to go down and hit the groin. So my goal is going to be hit him right where the rib cage meets. And we want to make sure when we're doing this one, I want to stay in a longer grip. If I'm not in a long grip, guys, watch what happens. Okay, I could be potentially moving in right into an overhead front strike, and that's not going to end well for me. So I'm going to get in a longer grip. Okay, we're going to be moving and just moving around nicely. If you guys notice, I'm pushing off that back leg as I advance. And Sean's doing a good job. He's keeping that bow right in the middle. That's okay. It's my job to get around it. We're not going to train in a way that he's just going to get I'm going to get a free shot. I'm going to move around. It's okay if I get his arm. Good, I snuck that one in there. It really is about aim, guys, okay? Focusing on that footwork. Now, if you'll notice, stay there, sir. Sean's body just needs just a slight more blade to it. The reason we want that is it's going to make my job harder, okay? So we want to make sure we have a nice bladed body when we're sparring. Okay, we're moving around still. I sneak them under, or I might try and go over. It's a fun little game. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Clear off the sweat. Okay, and keep in mind, we're in a longer grip. Moving around, focusing on that footwork, guys. And Sean can feel free to try and counter. This one's very hard to counter. It's very deceptive, this poke, guys, especially if I'm advancing. Notice how far back I am? Excellent. Excellent. You want your training partner to test you. It's a little high, sorry, sir. Double poke. Good, resting. Face each other. Bow. Back in right dominant. Now it's Sean's turn to hit. I'm going to ask Sean to respect the microphone. Okay, so we're going to be moving around. And remember, good. He's advancing off that back foot. That's what we want. Excellent, sir.
Back up the guard.
Excellent. Got a good job back in the guard. Now there's lots of things we can do with this, guys, for counters. We really are focusing on pushing off that back foot. Good. See, I missed on my curl. He moved in. That's excellent. Even if we don't connect, we want to make sure that we're just thinking all the time about what's going to work and what's not going to. Good, good. Even if he gets me on the hand, that's still a point, guys. Good, resting. Switch sides. So now we're in a left dominant. This actually may be a more accurate strike for a lot of us because our right hand's going to be the one that's doing the pushing. On your own, sir, go. You guys will notice I still have a bladed body, okay? I don't want to make it easier on Sean, okay? I'm going to want to let him get that contact of feel, but I want to be a good partner and make sure that he's not just able to come in and do whatever he wants on me. Good, very nice. Now if you'll notice, I put my arm up here. Sean does a good job of going to the other side. If I'm down here, he might want to come to this side, okay? Very nice. Pushing off that back leg, sir. Good. Couple more. And last one, sir. Good. Right in the chest. Okay. That was energy transfer, advancing, moving laterally.